This is a faculty tutorial for Moodle for Defiance College. In this tutorial, we will cover setting up attendance. The attendance activity module enables an instructor to take attendance during class and for students to be able to view their own attendance record. The teacher can create multiple sessions and can mark the attendance status as present, absent, late, or excused, or modify the statuses to suit their needs. Reports are available for the entire class or for individual students. Okay, let's get started. The first thing we need to do is we need to turn our editing on. I'm going to come up here to my options menu and click on the drop down and select Turn Editing On. Once I have editing turned on, I can now add my attendance application. So I'm going to kind of scroll down here and there's an option to add an activity or resource. So I'll click on this link. I'm going to select attendance from here, and you'll notice here it does give you some help text and explains a little bit about this activity. Then I'll click on Add. Now it comes up to configure. The name as a default is just going to be attendance. If you want that to show up as a different name on your Moodle page, then you can come in here and give it a different name. Description is optional. You don't need to put a description there. If you choose to put some kind of description there, maybe explaining how many points it's worth or whatever, you can do that here. Then I'm going to click on the arrow here beside grade. As a default, the attendance for the entire semester is worth 100 points. So you've got some different choices here where you can say, I don't want to give them any kind of grade whatsoever. I just want to take attendance. So you've got some different options. I'm going to go ahead and just leave mine as point and 100. If you have your grade book set up with categories, then you can come and select different categories, or if you want a grade to pass, but those are some optional things. So some of the categories will be discussed in a later video with the gradebook. I'm going to come down here to the Common Module settings. If you are using groups, let's say you've got Group A or you've got Group B that are coming on different days, you may want to set up groups. And then you've got some different options here. There will be another video that covers this with the group feature turned on. I'm going to go ahead and kind of scroll down here and just click on Save and Return to Course. So now as I scroll down a little bit, you'll see that I do have this attendance feature. So the next thing we need to do is we need to set the status options. In order to do that, I'm going to simply click on the link for attendance, and that brings me into this screen. You'll notice we have different tabs up here at the top. I'm going to click on the Status Set tab. As a default, it gives you different options for marking attendance. You can mark them present, late, excused, absent, and you can give them different points for each of these. Now in my mind, if they're excused, they should still get 2 points if they're getting 2 points for being present. And I can click on Update, and then you'll see the different changes. If you don't want to use excused, you can just come over to the little trash can and delete that. If you want some other explanation, some different acronym, you can come in, and all of this is editable. So you can make it be exactly what you want that to be. The next thing after you have this all set is we actually have to add the sessions. So at the top, it's going to basically default to all students because I don't have groups set up. So again, in a different video, you'll see information on groups. And it's giving me a message here, you can't add group sessions because no groups exist in the course. So what I want to do is I want to set up the first session for the first day of class. So the first day of class is going to be on August 24th of 2020. And this class is going to meet from 10 a.m. until 11:20. And then description again is optional. You don't have to put any description in there. But if you do keep everything in one Moodle page and maybe you have labs, you might want to put in this is the lecture session or this is the lab session. So different options are available there as well. Now so far we're only adding one session. So what we want to do is we actually want to create multiple sessions. So I'm going to come down here and open up the multiple sessions. I'm going to repeat the session above, so this session here, as follows. So I'm going to say that this class meets every Monday and Thursday, and I'll check those two boxes. The repeat every is weekly, so unless your class is meeting every 2 weeks or only once a month, everyone is basically going to have that repeat weekly, so 1 week. Then I need to set up the end date, and that is going to be December 4th. And then down here, do you want to allow students to record their attendance? Oh no, we definitely do not want that, so we're not going to check that. And I'll click on Add. So now you'll see I've got attendance for every day that the students are going to be in class. But sometimes we're going to need to edit some of these sessions because we may not meet all of these. So here on September 3rd, that's going to be Labor Day. So I'm going to come and I'm going to check this little box here. Now I also have an option of just hitting the delete session, and I could do that. So there's a couple different ways of getting this done. I'm going to check the little box. As I come down here in November, we're also going to have Thanksgiving, so I want to check that one as well. So this is one way that you can make more changes in kind of a quicker way. So if you had a lot of them you had to adjust or delete, you can just click on all of these. Then you come down to the bottom where it says choose, and I'm going to choose delete. You also have the option of changing the duration if some of them are going to be a different length. So now it's confirming. Are you absolutely sure you want to delete these sessions, including all the user data? Well, we haven't actually taken attendance, so there's no user data in there. So that is Labor Day and Thanksgiving. Yes, I'll confirm and continue. And so now those are deleted out. Next thing we want to do is we're going to want to actually enter our attendance. So if I just come back to my course and we'll say that, okay, we're going through and we just finished the first day of class. I can once again click on the attendance link. It brings me back into this kind of same area. And then what I'll do, there's an arrow here that allows me to take attendance. So I'm going to click on this big triangle here. And now I can see all of my students. And I've got different options for taking attendance. So P is for present, E is for excused, L is for late, A is for absent. And you also have an option of making remarks. Now if everyone is present, I can simply come up to this kind of blank row at the very top, click on this button here, and it marks everyone present. So very quick. But let's say that maybe Sally came in late, so I'm going to have to mark her late. And then it turned out Brandon wasn't here. We'll say that he had soccer. So I'll put a note in there that Brandon was at soccer, and then I can save attendance. And it's just that quick. Once you've done attendance, it turns from that triangle into a little green arrow. You can still change that attendance, so if you come back, you can come in and say, oh, you know what? I didn't realize Ryan was absent. So I can mark Ryan as absent, save attendance. So you can always kind of go back in and make a change. You can also view all past. You can view it just by months or just by weeks or just by days. So you've got different views available here as well for how you're going to look at all of your attendance. If we want to view the attendance, we can come here to the tab for reports. And here we're going to see that we've only taken attendance on this one day. So as we're looking at the attendance for this one day, you can see that Sally was late. She got 1 out of 2 points. These guys are all there. They got 2 out of 2 points. Ryan was absent. He got 0 out of 2 points. And Brandon was excused, and he got 2 out of 2 points. So down at the bottom, it's showing there were 5 present, 1 excused, 1 late, 1 absence. So it's going to give you all of that information for all of the students coming down. If I scroll over to the right, I'll be able to get information on each student. Now, if I had taken multiple days, there'd be more information here available. So I'll be able to see that Sally was late one day, points 1 out of 2. She has a 50% on the attendance. If we have a large class and I want to be able to export this out and look at it so that I don't have to scroll back and forth and up and down, there is an export option. So there's a tab at the top to export. You can choose if you want to export all participants. If you have groups set up, you can export them separately into different groups. If you only want to export a specific person, you can just select one person and it will allow you to do that as well. So you have to select up here, yes, specific users, and then that will allow me to select one. Otherwise, the default is that it's going to export all of them. You also have options of which fields that you want to include in your report. So student ID, username, and then some of these other options. Do you want to select all sessions? Do you want to include the sessions not taken? Do you want to include the remarks? So maybe you want to know that there was soccer or there was a reason why someone was late or absent. So you can include the remarks as well. And then you can choose a date range as well, and you can download it into Excel. So some different options there if you'd like to do that. I'm going to click back on report, and yes, I'm going to leave this. I don't actually want to do the export today, so I'll just click on leave. So it's kind of letting me know that I didn't finish. Back on the report tab, if I want to see information on attendance for just one person, I can just simply click on that person's name, and now I'm seeing just the attendance for Brandon and for no one else. So if the student had a question about their attendance, you could simply click on that link and it would allow you to see all of that information on that student. As we scroll down, we're going to see all of this information down here, how much attendance has been taken and all the statistics. If the students want to look at their attendance, they're basically going to see the same summary information right here if they click on attendance to see where they stand on their attendance. I'm going to go back just by clicking on the name of my class so that I'm back on my normal class page. I still have my editing turned on. And another option that you have is you can include an attendance block, just like you have a calendar block. So if I scroll down here on the left-hand side, there's an option to add a block. From here, I'm going to click on attendance, and now the attendance box shows up here. And so you've got another shortcut place where you can quickly click on attendance, you can take attendance, add report, and so on. So it's just kind of a quick link to get to all of those attendance features if you'd like to have that in a block. Once you're finished with all of this, you'll want to make sure that you come up and turn your editing off. I hope you have found this video tutorial useful.